Hello, I'm Brigitte. We're going to do about 45-minute intermediate class. We're going to flow a little bit between the poses, make sure you take a break when you need one, and that you're taking care of yourself. Let's start today's practice in a tabletop position. Bring the knees underneath the hips, the hands underneath the shoulders, and find a really firm base. The tops of the feet pressing down into the mat. The hands underneath the shoulders. The neck is an extension of the spine. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the nose. As you inhale, lift the hips, drop the belly, roll the shoulders away from the ears, look up. As you exhale, tuck the tail, pull the belly button into the spine, pull the chin towards the chest. Begin to breathe, moving through cat-cow. One more each way. And then on an inhale, find a neutral spine. Press into the hands, tuck the toes, push back into a downward facing dog. Make sure you pedal out the heels one at a time. You're pressing into the hands. Hips are lifting towards the ceiling. Chest is pulling towards the knees. You might move the hips from side to side, or if there's something else you like to do in this pose. And then when you're ready, lift the heels, bend the knees, look between the hands, and step or hop between them. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Grab opposite elbows, deep bend in the knees. Then keeping a little bend in the knees, inhale the arms all the way up and overhead. Look up at the hands. Exhale, hands frame the body. Find a mountain pose, Tadasana. The feet should be hip distance apart. Tailbone pulling down towards the earth, belly button into spine. Roll the shoulders up towards the ears and down the back. Close the eyes. Put one hand on the stomach and one hand on the chest. Feel for the heartbeat. Feel for the breath moving through the body. I'd like you to choose an intention for today's practice. That intention could be just for the rest of this video, or it might be for the rest of your day, for your week. Take a deep inhale, drawing your intention to you. Take a deep exhale, releasing anything that no longer serves you in this moment. Release the hands down to either side of the body. On an inhale, lift the arms all the way up and overhead. Look up at the hands. Reach the fingertips towards the sky. On an exhale, fold over the legs. Hands goes towards the floor, nose goes towards the knee. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands and step or hop back to a high plank. Lower down, tugging the elbows into the sides of the body and lowering down from a high plank to a low plank. You might alternatively lower down the knees first and lower down from high to low. From here, inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Chest is lifting towards the sky, thighs, knees are off the mat. Take a cobra pose if you need to instead. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, chest pulls towards the knees. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, look between the hands, step or hop between them. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up and overhead. Look up at the hands. Exhale, hands frame the body, mountain pose, Tadasana. Again, close the eyes. Find the natural pace of the breath. Make sure you're moving with the pace of your breath. Recall your intention. And then inhale, sink the hips nice and low, arms come to frame the ears, chair pose. Look down at the feet, make sure you can see the toes past the knees. Then exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Make sure the neck is an extension of the spine. You're not looking up, but you're looking down at the earth. Press into the hands. Exhale, hop back or step back, high plank. Lower down your way, high to low. Inhale, lift up, upward facing dog. Exhale, press back to a downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, pull the right knee into the chest, rounding the back leg in cat pose. Pull the knee up nice and high. Step the foot between the hands. Press into the big right toe. Inhale, arms come up, crescent lunge. Roll the shoulders down the back. Make sure the front knee is bending, the back leg is straight and strong. The inner thighs are pulling together and the left hip is pulling forward slightly, right hip pulling back. Exhale, find a warrior two. Back foot's parallel with the back of the mat. Front knee is bending. Look over the right middle finger. Roll the shoulders down the back. Pull the tail towards the floor, the right knee over to the right side. Big inhale. Exhale, windmill the hands down over the right foot. Step it back. And then lower down. Option to keep this right leg lifted as you lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, press back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, pull the left knee into the chest, rounding the back like in cat pose. Step the foot between the hands. Inhale, the arms come up. Back leg is straight and strong. Front knee is bending. Arms lifting towards the sky. Make sure the belly button's pulling into the spine. The core is engaged. Exhale, warrior two. Back foot parallel with the back of the mat. Look over the left middle finger. Breathe. Big inhale. Exhale, windmill over the left foot, step it back. Option to keep this leg lifted, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Lower the knees down to the mat. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Find your perfect tabletop position. Extend the left toes back. Extend the right arm forward. Stay here, or you might lift the left leg. Stay there, or you might reach for the left foot with the right hand. Stay here or press into the left foot, look up. Exhale, extend the left leg, right arm. Lower down the knee and the hand. Right foot steps back, right toes are planted down on the mat. Left arm extends forward. Find length between the fingertips and the back heel. If you like, you might lift this back leg. You can stay here. Make sure there's energy pulling between the left knee and the right hand, helping you balance. Or you might bend the right leg, bringing the right foot into the left hand, press into the right foot, look up. Exhale, release. Bring the hand and the knee back down towards the mat. Tuck the toes. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels. Bend the knees. Look between the hands. Step or float between them. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way overhead. Sink the hips low. Find a chair pose. Make sure the weight's in the heels. Exhale, lift up to stand. Close the eyes. Press into the big toes, the pinky toes, the heels. Lift the top of the head towards the sky. Roll the shoulders up towards the ears and down the back. Find your intention. Then open the eyes and lock them on something still. Bring the right hand forward so the right thumb is pointed out towards the right side. And then bring the right hand back so that the right thumb is now pointing behind you. Lift the left arm towards the sky. Slowly bring the right foot into the right hand. Make sure that the right thumb is still pointing back behind you and that you've grabbed the inside of the foot. Press into the right foot and let the tension between the right foot and the right hand possibly bring the torso a little bit closer towards the earth. You're extending the left fingertips forward. The palm is facing the midline of the body. Exhale, slowly release out of this dancing warrior. You can shake out the legs if you need to. And left hand comes forward. Left thumb is pointing over towards the left side. Bring the left hand over towards the left hip. Thumb is pointing back. Lift the right arm up. Bring the left foot into the left hand. Press into the left foot. And this pose really comes from the tension between the foot and the hand. Keep pressing the foot into the hand. Good. And then slowly release out of this pose. You might shake out the arms and the legs. And sink the hips, lift the arms, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold over the legs. Nose goes towards the knee, hands go towards the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back, high plank. Lower down, high to low, your way. Inhale, lift up, cobra pose or upward facing dog. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, bend the right knee, stacking the right hip over the left. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, pull the knee into the chest, rounding the back like in cat pose. Step the right foot between the hands. Inhale, the arms up, Crescent Lunge. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Right palm flips towards the ceiling. Lift the right arm. Bring the left hand either down the back leg or behind the small of the back. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach forward. Exhale, triangle pose. Right hand goes on the right leg, the inside of the lower part of the leg, or the hand might be reaching towards the floor or even to the big toe. You can look up at the top hand or down at the bottom hand. Inhale, lift up, find a Warrior 2. Exhale, right elbow goes in the middle of the right thigh, left arm comes over the ear. If you want to take this a step deeper, you can bring the right hand down towards the mat. Left hand goes behind the back. Possibly right hand goes underneath the right thigh, and you're binding the hands. You're reaching the right hand with the left hand, looking up over the left shoulder. Breathe. Exhale, bring the hands down to the mat. Step the right foot back. Possibly keep this leg lifted, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, press back. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left knee bends, stacking the hips. Try to keep equal weight in the hands. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, pull the knee into the chest, rounding the back like in cat pose. Step the foot between the hands. Inhale, arms come up, Crescent Lunge. Pull the belly button into the spine. Exhale, Warrior 2. Flip the left palm, inhale, reverse Warrior. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, straighten the left leg, reach forward with the left hand. Make sure you're not locking the left knee. Exhale, left hand comes down, right hand goes up. Inhale, lift up, warrior two. Exhale, left elbow goes to the middle of the left thigh, right arm comes over the ear. You might bring the left hand down towards the mat. Right hand goes behind the small of the back. Left hand goes underneath the left thigh. Look up over the right shoulder. Slowly bring the hands down to the mat. Step the left foot back. Option to keep this leg lifted, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, press back. Breathe. Inhale to a high plank. Building a little heat, hold here 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then slowly lower all the way down onto the mat. Bring the hands to frame the chest. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Lift from the back of the neck. Very little weights in the hands. Then bring the hands to frame the body. Lift the arms, lift the legs. Look up, breathe. 3 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, slowly lower down. Bring one side of the face down to the mat. In this moment of ease, remember your intention. Then bring the feet towards the body. Reach out for the outsides of the feet this time. Begin to press into the feet. Lift the chest, lift the legs. 3 big breaths. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, slowly lower down to the mat. Bring the opposite side of the face down. And then bring the hands to frame the chest, squeeze the inner thighs together, press back to a tabletop, tuck the toes, find a downward facing dog. This time lift the right leg and bring the right knee into the center of the chest, bringing the right knee underneath the right wrist. The right ankle is behind the left hand. Slowly inch the left knee back, setting up for your half pigeon pose. If this pose isn't accessible to you in this way, you can always come onto your back and bring the right ankle to the left knee and then draw the left knee in towards the chest. If this pose is accessible to you, you're moving into it and it starts to already feel right, you can look back at the left leg, make sure the hip, the knee, the heel are all in a line parallel with the side of the mat. Then big inhale, come up onto the fingertips, look up. Exhale, slowly lower down onto the elbows, or maybe onto 2 stacked fists, or maybe all the way down towards the floor. Inhale, lift up onto the hands. Bring the left foot towards the body. And you might reach out for it with one hand or maybe even both. And then slowly release the foot. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, step the right foot back, and then lower down, high to low. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, press back. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, bring the left knee towards the left wrist. The left ankle goes behind the right wrist. Inch the right knee back. Again, if this pose doesn't feel right in your hips, you can take it on your back. Inhale up onto the fingertips, look up. Exhale, slowly lower down. If you're not feeling that this pose is challenging, you might bring this left foot a little further away from the right hip. The other way, if it's a little too intense for you, bringing this left heel a little closer to the right hip will make the pose a little bit less intense. You might notice that this pose feels different on one side compared to the other. And also in these deep hip opening poses, you might notice some emotions surface. Know that it's really natural in these deep stretching poses for some feelings that have been held onto in the body to surface. Allow those things to surface and allow yourself to let them go, releasing from attachment of the emotional sensations. And then inhale, come up onto the fingers or onto the hands. Bring the right foot towards the body if that feels good. If not, keep it lowered. And if it feels good, you might reach out for it with one hand or maybe even both. Slowly release the foot if you went for it. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Step the left foot back and lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, press back. Now you can make your way into a seat in whatever way makes sense to you. And then inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, take a twist to the right. Bring the left hand to the right knee, the right hand behind the back. Inhale the top of the head, nice and high. Exhale, look back over the back shoulder. Every inhale, think about growing a little taller. Every exhale, twist a little deeper. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, twist the opposite way. Right hand comes to left knee, left hand goes behind the back. Again, pull the top of the head towards the sky. Exhale, bring the chin towards the back shoulder. Breathe. Then inhale, arms come all the way up. Exhale, release the hands and bring the knees to point up towards the ceiling. The shins are parallel with the earth. The arms are framing the legs. Option, you might extend the legs as well. Navasana, boat pose. Exhale, slowly lower down onto the mat. Bring the knees to the mat. Bring the feet to the mat, lifting the knees towards the ceiling. Lift all 10 toes. Press them down one at a time. And then press into the feet, feeling the strength of the legs. Lift up into a bridge pose, hips lift up. You might interlace the hands underneath the small of the back, keep pressing into the feet. Or an option, you might go for a full wheel today. Today would be a good day to try for it because we've done a lot of back bends. You can bring the hands to frame the ears. The elbows point up towards the sky. Press into the hands, lift up. Full wheel. You might even walk the hands a little closer to the feet. Try to keep pressing into the feet, extending the legs. And then slowly lower down onto the mat. Bring the feet as wide as the mat and windshield wiper the knees back and forth. Okay. Bring the knees into the chest and let the knees fall over towards the left side. Looking over at the right hand. Inhale, bring the knees to center. Exhale, the knees over towards the right side. Look over at the left hand. Bring the knees into the center. Extend the legs up towards the sky. You can bring the hands underneath the hips. A little extra support for legs up the wall. Or you might bring the hips into the height of the hands for a shoulder stand. The fingers are pointed up towards the heels, the thumbs wrap around the hips. And you might bring the feet behind the head for a plow pose. Just make sure you're really taking care of yourself, being mindful how this feels, especially in the head or the neck. And then slowly lowering out of whatever pose you've taken. Bring the feet into the hands. Happy baby pose. And bring the knees into the chest, wrap the arms around the knees, pull the nose to the knees, squeeze the face, squeeze the fingers, squeeze the toes, everything squeezes to the midline of the body, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And exhale, release down into your Shavasana pose. Slowly wiggle the fingers. Extend the arms and the legs. Slowly pull the knees into the chest. Fall to one side of the body. When you're ready, make your way into seated position. Bring the hands to heart center. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Bring the hands to the third eye center. Namaste. Thank you.